But it was a sick concert. I'm trying to think what else he did. But like he played Black and Yellow, he played a lot of his old stuff too, and was like working his way into his new album. Um, I guess when everything kind of went to shit. So if you live locally, you would have seen or heard about what happened, and let's just say the concert ended abruptly. The There was a rumor that there was a gun and that there was shots fired. So I guess I'll just go to what I knew at the moment that night and kind of replay it in my head. So when everything was going down, it was probably about 10:30. So there's probably about at least a half hour or more to the concert, and I kind of heard a commotion behind us, and we turned around, and people like erupted in like a, I don't know, a 15-yard circle, and then like a bunch of security guards came up and was like looking around, but I mean we didn't see anything. I thought like there was a fight or something going on, and then but everybody's just like, what the hell is happening? At one point people started filling in the circle because they're like, oh, let's just have a good time, and people were like dancing and singing, and then kind of out of nowhere we look over to our left and see the security guard sprinting. I really don't know why. It doesn't make sense even at finding out like afterwards, but like the security guard and a bunch of people just start sprinting down and on the main drag going around the pavilion, basically like heading like towards the exits. And me and Riley we just stand there like we I think out of like considering what the situation could have been and everything that was happening, we probably handled it almost in the most nonchalant, calm reaction you could have had. And part of it was because I didn't see any reason for freaking out because I had not seen any weapons, heard any gunshots, or really knew what was going on. So I didn't make any abrupt decisions. So we just kind of like stood there for a second, like for a minute or two, just kind of being like, what the hell just like, why is everybody running? Like the lawn cleared so fast. It was kind of mind blowing because this all started in our section. And then at one point we end up like sitting down because they're like, just in case, let's just not make ourselves obvious. There's a bunch of other people sitting and we're just trying to still assess what the hell was happening because people were just sprinting out of there. I mean, it looked kind of like the place was almost as full when Machine Gun Kelly was there. So there was probably, I would say, roughly 17,000 people. There was a lot of people there. And it was, I really don't know. So we just kind of hung out. And I think someone, while running, had landed on a cup or beer can or something and made a popping noise. Like it's 100% what it was because just how it sounded. And I saw and heard someone not far from us been like, oh dude, that's a gunshot, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And I, considering I was being very rational about it, I knew it wasn't a gunshot. Like it would have been a lot louder, and I had never heard any shots fired to begin with. But the thing was, at the time, no one knew what the hell had just happened or what was going on. But at that point, like Wiz got pulled off a stage, the concert was over, so we were like, okay, well, we better just start heading out ourselves. So like we're just walking, we're just chilling, walking out. And we talked to some security guards, we talked to some workers trying to see if they knew what the hell just happened or if they had any idea. And everybody was kind of in the dark. No one had any clue what was going on. And It was so funny because we ended up talking to a few guys also walking out very calm and nonchalant. And he's like, bro, this shit happens on the west side all the time. You people need to calm down. and and shit like that. And I was like, I mean, yeah, you got a point, but I was like, shit, I didn't see or hear anything, so I really don't know what the reaction's about. And he kind of said the same. Like we ended up asking a bunch of people, and everybody had the same rumor, same idea, where they at least thought a gun was maybe pulled or flashed, and then it kind of caused a chain reaction of panic. But as for people thinking like there was gunshots, I was like, I swear we would have heard it, because I mean the concert's loud, but you would have probably distinctly heard a gunshot. And so we just worked our way out of the arena and headed back out to our car. Like people had jumped fences, people jumped certain exits that weren't exits to then have to climb back over fences to actually get out and back to the parking lot. I heard that people had ran into the fields nearby. Like people were having issues trying to find their cars. I think because people were in such a panic. Like I saw people breaking down and crying, a lot of people on their phones. And I think it was more out of fear because they didn't know what the hell just happened. But I think a lot of it was just people overreacting, being paranoid and drunk and high, that just kind of caused like a mass hysteria almost to take over, because I still had no reason for for me to like really freak out or act that way. Like everybody's just like, well, what the fuck? I guess the concert's over. Let's just get out of here at that point. And so we worked our way to our car. We didn't even try leaving probably for about 45 minutes because traffic was so messed up. Cops and ambulances and a bunch of people showed up. And then also considering that people were trying to leave like half an hour before the concert was supposed to let out. No barriers, I don't think were really set up yet, so they had to like figure that out. It was a mess. So I was like, we were just gonna wait. We're not gonna get out of here. Like I think there was a guy that we actually talked to in a car that ended up sitting basically in the same spot for about 15 to 20 minutes. So I was like, why the hell are we gonna get in our cars and try to even leave? Like it's pointless at this point. And it was interesting. And then we got home. And we were both like, well, great concert. Could have ended better. And I think we both thought that. And it is what it is at that point. I think everybody's more upset that the concert just got ended so abruptly. So it was just, I think we were just kind of disappointed that we weren't able to enjoy the rest of the concert. And I think everybody was. But it was, so we got home and we just, we're like, well, I guess we were trying to look at the news, trying to see if they had figured anything out kind of on our drive back. And we ended up getting back. We ended up just getting back and was like, well, I guess we'll just find out in the morning and see what the hell we hear.